History is made here. You can see it in their faces. You can feel it in the stands. Homegrown heroes. Their hometown fans. 3 days of blood, sweat, and tears. 72 hours that will last for the rest of their years. It's an event with no equal, a pause with no peers. Council Bluffs sends 16 into the fray. Who's left standing at the end of the day? This show shows you how. It's the Bluff Sports Zone, and it starts right now.
Hello, I'm JJ Davis, and welcome to the Wells Fargo Arena for this very special edition of the Bluff Sports Zone. And you know, the Iowa State Wrestling Tournament is the Hawkeye State in all its glory. And 16 from Council Bluffs have come to share in it. This is their time to shine. Now, the only question is, for how long?
And away we go. 106-pounder Paxton Whitaker from Lewis Central nearly sticks Jacob Schiffer from North Scott Eldridge. The Titan sophomore takes down his first win at state, 12-7.
It's nice because it's my first time being here and all, and it's just nice to get that first one out of the way and just wrestle on.
McGuire Midkiff from Thomas Jefferson wrestles on at 106. The freshman controls Colin Koprovich from Epworth West Dubuque, 6-1.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous, but in a good way. I wasn't so nervous that I had too much jitters and was just going to go out there and throw it. I was ready to go.
Not so at 120 for Abraham Lincoln's Robbie Finch. Kyle Briggs from Jefferson Rapids wins by tech fall, 22-6. 126, TJ's Colton Klingenpeel in total control. The 9th-ranked sophomore just racking up the points. Klingenpeel wins by shutout, 9-0.
Break it.
LC's Max Southard on the bottom has his hands full at 132. 10th ranked Levi Azinger from Pella rolls the Titans freshman 8-0. Next at 138, senior Stephen Ruby from Thomas Jefferson rolls in against number 1 Logan Ryan from Bettendorf. And Bettendorf runs his record of 46-1 with a second period pin. Another of TJ's 5 state qualifiers gets it back at 145. 6th ranked Jason Wallace nearly plants Israel Dirks from Carroll. Wallace signs in, tech fall 16-1. City champ Lewis Central brings 6 to the well, 152. The Titans' Ethan Ruby dusts off Dustin Caldwell from Clinton.
Kind of sets the tone for the tournament, you know? I'm not going to be taking crap, and I'm going to be going out there, and I'm going to be going hard, and nothing's going to get in my way.
Standing in the way of LC sophomore Hayden Waldstein here at 170, Sean Ickes from Cedar Rapids Xavier. Just piling up the points. The Saint senior manhandles the sophomore, winning by majority decision, 13-2. 182 ankle pick. Rocky Lombardi from West Des Moines Valley picks off Chris Thomas from Lewis Central, 7-2.
Hey, Taylor, run away!
Jake Taylor from Thomas Jefferson on the bottom can't mount any offense at 195. Number 10, Ray Schroeder from Newton sends the Yellow Jacket senior away with a 6-1 loss. Also at 195, AL's Dustin Putnam on the bottom, just holding on against Dre Lamb from Oskaloosa. Another of the Lynx 3 district champs heads off on the short end of a 5-1 decision. Abraham Lincoln's Jordan Bywater walks on for his first round match at 285. The Lynx senior, ranked 4th in the state, signs his name in the win column as Bywater knocks off Tim Schiffer from Mason City, 7-3.
I was really nervous coming in, And then during weigh-ins, I saw who I had, and I was like, there's a little motivation because he didn't look too intimidating. So it was a little confidence boost for me.
Not so for LC's Jacob Cook at 285. Just gets stacked by number 1 Caleb Stack from Waverly Shell Rock. Class 1A first round. Top-ranked 160-pounder Wyatt Lewis from St. Albert goes to the mat with Bryce Oafson from Wilton. The senior slips in with the fireman's carry, Lewis in control. Wyatt on the offense with the trip. And Wyatt Lewis wins his first match 6-0.
It is really important, you know, you got that confidence going into the second round, and, you know, I'm going to take it to the next kid.
The Falcons' Sean O'Neill ready to rock at 220. Second period, number 1 Ryan Parmalee from Maquoketa Valley puts O'Neill on his back, and it's just a matter of time.
Keep working!
Sean O'Neill gets up on the short end.
And so a Super 16 come from Council Bluffs in search of glory. Now 7, one and done, first round winners. 9, not so lucky. Perhaps here in the warm-up area. Consolation round.
Nine guys from Council Bluffs ready to do it the hard way through the losers bracket. Misery continues for Abraham Lincoln's Robbie Finch. 9th-ranked Skylar DeJohn from Oskaloosa with the cradleable rock in the second. Finch is done. Robbie finishes his season at an impressive 40-12. Then at 132, Lewis Central's Max Southard on the bottom tries to get away, but Matt Wempen from Linmar rolls in to take it 4-2. The Titans freshman finishes his year at 33-24. 138, Lachlan Kelly from Urbandale takes down TJ Stephen Ruby 4-3. Ruby is finished at 17-11. 170, LC's Hayden Waldstein on his back. Jeffrey Thongvan sends the Titans sophomore home, winning by majority decision 15-5, so Hayden's run ends at 29-22. Big moment for Chris Thomas at 182. The Lewis Central junior plants Mason Weesey from Oskaloosa. No doubt, Chris Thomas lives to see another day. 195, TJ's Jake Taylor in trouble. John Ware from Ankeny Centennial doesn't stick Taylor, but wins by majority decision 14-5. The Yellow Jacket senior gets a hug. Jake finishes up at 32-21. And finally at 285, Lewis Central's Jacob Cook throwing around Jake Heinrich from Urbandale. The Titans seniors, motor never stops running. It comes around for an impressive 5-2 win.
It means a lot. This is my first year on varsity, and I didn't really know what to expect this year, and I'm just trying to keep my career going and just hope the best comes of it.
So Jacob Cook wins his first match ever at state and moves on in the consolation bracket.
Going out there and being an animal out here.
Class 1A first round consolation. Sean O'Neill gets another shot. Cale Crowder from Guthrie Center has the Falcon on his back in the third. Sean O'Neill is done.
Good year. Good year.
The St. Albert senior walks off for good, ends his year at 39-11. And so here's the way it looks after day one. Thomas Jefferson still has 3 guys in the winner's bracket. Lewis Central 2 and Abraham Lincoln 1. Class 1A, St. Albert's Wyatt Lewis. Still alive on the other side, LC's Chris Thomas and senior Jacob Cook. And the rest, toast the first day, 0-2. 16 from Council Bluffs have come to the Wells Fargo Arena with high hopes, and after the first day, it's down to 9. The Super 7 from CB run the gauntlet known as the state quarterfinals. And who will survive? When we come back.
State Wrestling Tournament coverage brought to you in part by Jimmy Waters at Third Degree Screening, a local company with national reach, providing comprehensive background check and drug testing products and services. 712-256-1701 or online at thirddegreescreening.com. State Wrestling Tournament coverage brought to you in part by the Cobra Optimist Wrestling Club. More information at cbcobrawrestling.org. State Wrestling Tournament coverage brought to you in part by the St. Albert Alumni Association, supporting Falcon wrestlers at the state meet. State Wrestling Tournament coverage is brought to you in part by Holiday Van and Storage, a full-service moving company proudly serving the Omaha and Council Bluffs areas. For a stress-free move, 402-734-3834.
For more than a quarter century, thousands of athletes have relied on this team, Jenny Ed Sportsmed. Their sole focus is to prevent, diagnose, and treat your sports injury, getting you back in the action. Jenny Ed Sportsmed partners with Neb Ortho, giving you consistent one-on-one care from diagnosis to rehab. And since every injury an athlete is different, they've even developed a sports injury clinic specifically designed for athletes. Jenny Ed Sportsmed.
This portion of the Bluff Sports Zone brought to you by Cutler O'Neill Meyer Woodring family-owned funeral home, serving Council Bluffs in southwest Iowa for over 100 years.
Day 2 here at the State Wrestling Tournament. Up and at 'em bright and early as the gates opened up here at the Wells Fargo Arena at 7:30 a.m. And again, another full slate of action. State quarterfinals, state semifinals. And remember, 7 from Council Bluffs are still alive.
Session number 4, 6 from Council Bluffs looking to win their way to the Final Four. 106-pounders, third period. Second-ranked Jack Wagner from Bettendorf pins Paxton Whitaker from Lewis Central. Also at 106, freshman McGuire Midkiff from Thomas Jefferson on top, called for an illegal figure 4 in the second overtime. Number 7, Adam Brown from Southeast Polk wins it 1-0. And the 5th-ranked Yellow Jacket off to the other side of the bracket. Teammate Colton Klingenfield in a cradle at 126. Number 7, Damon Griffin from Linn-Mar sticks the 9th-ranked Jacket in the second period. Same deal at 145. Number 2, Briar Dittmer from Southeast Polk has TJ's Jason Wallace in trouble in the first. Thomas Jefferson goes 0-3 in the quarters. 152, Lewis Central's Ethan Ruby just out-muscles Josh Davis from Des Moines East. 2 for the takedown, and 3 more back points. The 4th-ranked Titan slips free for 2 more. Senior Ethan Ruby gets a hand after winning 7-0.
My mindset has been the same from the beginning of the tournament to now to the beginning of the year, as I'm going to go out there and I'm going to beat whoever steps on the mat with me.
And finally at 285, Jordan Bywater from Abraham Lincoln, ranked 4th, gets planted by number 2, Jack Martin from Southeast Polk. So in the Class 3A quarterfinals, CB wrestlers go 1-5.
This is not over for you. If you did not leave here for another understanding. Okay, let's go.
Top-ranked 160-pounder Wyatt Lewis from St. Albert, the Bluffs' lone representative of the Class 1A quarterfinals. And Wyatt goes right to work against number 9, Blake Pruisner from Applington, Parkersburg. The senior all over the junior, winning by majority decision, 13-2.
You know, in that match, I was a little nervous. You know, kid's tough. I was kind of, you know, on the edge of my seat in the locker room, and but I got rid of those nerves now. Now there's nothing to lose.
The Falcons' Wyatt Lewis off to the 1A semifinal. Class 3A second-round consolations. 106-pounder McGuire Midkiff from Thomas Jefferson gets away from Drew Sams from Oskaloosa. The 5th-ranked Yellow Jacket comes away with a hard-fought 3-1 decision. Also at 106, Austin Yan from Waverly Shell Rock mauls Lewis Central's Paxton Whitaker 10-4. Paxton goes home at 43-11. TJ's Colton Klingenpeel locks in at 126. The sophomore takes down junior Nick Matson from Lamar's, wins at 7-2. How hard was it to come back after getting pinned?
It was pretty hard at first, but with people cheering me up, I got back in the mood to wrestle and come back and get the medal.
Jackets junior Jason Wallace piling up the points at 145. Wallace 13-1 over Garrett Grimshaw from Burlington.
I know I didn't wrestle good that first match, and the kid was good, but no excuse. That next match, I just know I needed to come out and get it done so I can get the placing rounds.
182, Lewis Central's Chris Thomas can't escape fourth-ranked Mason Weesey from Oskaloosa. Shot, counter shot. The Indian ends the Titans' run, winning 11-5. Thomas is done at 35-21. But not so at 285 for AL's Jordan Bywater. Pins Dalton Kuehl from CR Jefferson.
My second match, I was pretty bummed out, but I did my best, and I know I did. So I wanted to show that I deserve to be here with this match.
Lewis Central's Jacob Cook gets a good look at big Landon Carney from Pleasant Valley, tied in overtime. Carney gets the takedown and takes it 3-1. So Cook's season cooked at 35-18.
So how about Ethan Ruby?
Yeah!
The Titan senior is in the Class 3A semifinals. Now, this is his girlfriend. You might remember that Ethan lost his first round match last year and fought his way all the way back and finished third.
Yeah!
We got to give props to St. Albert's Wyatt Lewis.
Yep. Yes.
He comes in Class 1A as the top-ranked wrestler in 160, and what do you know? Wyatt Lewis is in the state semifinals as well.
First up, the Class 3A Final Four showdown. Lewis Central's Ethan Ruby gets tangled up with 5th-ranked Trey Blaha from Cedar Rapids Prairie. Blaha comes away with the takedown. Ruby still down, 2-zip in the third period. The Prairie Hawk senior again gets 2. Trey Blaha stuns number 4 Ethan Ruby 5-1. So Ethan's season is over at 46-6. Lewis Central will not have a Titan in the finals for the first time in 17 years. St. Albert's 160-pounder Wyatt Lewis hustles in for his Class 1A semifinal showdown with number 5 Tyler Fubert from Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont. Fubert gets 2, leads 4-0 after 2. Lewis injures his left knee late in the third. The Rocket senior takes off again for 2 more. Wyatt Lewis limps off after suffering an 8-2 loss, is finished for the tournament. Wyatt places 6th for the second straight year with a record of 53-4. Now, both Ethan Ruby and Wyatt Lewis not available to be interviewed afterwards. And finally on Friday night, Class 3A third-round consolations. 106-pounders McGuire Midkip and Thomas Jefferson's on his back. Alec Casillas from Johnston out-muscles Midkip 10-4. Same deal for TJ's Colton Klingenpeel at 126. Chris Walters from Iowa City West with the third period pin. The Yellow Jackets 145-pounder Jason Wallace gets the takedown against Connor Coyle from Sioux City North. It's enough. The junior signs off on a 2-0 win. And at 285, Abraham Lincoln's Jordan Bywater gets up and away with a 2-zip victory over Landon Carney from Pleasant Valley.
I feel pretty confident in placing third. I'm pretty sure I can do it. I watched the other guys match I have tomorrow, and what he's got is what I got, and anything he can do, I'm pretty sure I can defend it.
The Link senior ready for the Consolation semis on Saturday.
Can't do that.
When was the last time Council Bluffs did not have a wrestler in the finals? The big 3 from TJ still alive on the other side of the bracket. as is LC's Ethan Ruby and AL's Jordan Bywater. But 4 more go home, 3 from Lewis Central. And in Class 1A, St. Albert's Wyatt Lewis is finished after injuring his knee in that tough loss in the semis. So 16 started on Thursday, 5 left to wrestle on Saturday. The only question left, how high will they go? On the podium, that is, after the break.
State Wrestling Tournament coverage brought to you in part by Jimmy Waters at Third Degree Screening, a local company with national reach, providing comprehensive background check and drug testing products and services. 712-256-1701 or online at thirddegreescreening.com. State Wrestling Tournament coverage brought to you in part by the Cobra Optimist Wrestling Club. More information at cbcobrawrestling.org. State Wrestling Tournament coverage brought to you in part by the St. Albert Alumni Association, supporting Falcon wrestlers at the state meet. State Wrestling Tournament coverage is brought to you in part by Holiday Van and Storage, a full-service moving company, proudly serving the Omaha and Council Bluffs areas. For a stress-free move, 402-734-3834.
At Council Bluffs Savings Bank, we take pride in our community and volunteering our time to helping individuals, families, and businesses succeed. We are Council Bluffs people operating a Council Bluffs bank to help Council Bluffs be a better place to work and live. Hometown banking, the way it used to be.
Bracketology on this, the third and final day of the state wrestling tournament. And who would have thunk it? Ethan Ruby and Wyatt Lewis not in the championship bracket, both beaten in the semis. So all that's left for the Council Bluffs wrestlers, the Consolation semis and finals.
Six wrestlers from Council Bluffs make the podium. 5, just a question of where. 145, Landon Ballou from Indianola sticks TJ's Jason Wallace in the Consolation semifinals. All hands on deck for Ethan Ruby. LC's 152-pounder, 1-1, second overtime. Gets 2 against Jacob Woodard from Bettendorf. Ruby pinning for more. Ethan will wrestle for third after an 8-3 win.
I was tired, and it's a really hard thing to do to come back off a loss after you spent the entire year preparing for being a state champion, and it was really tough, you know, but I wanted to gut it out and make sure that I didn't finish my career with a bad taste in my mouth.
285, the Big Lynx, Jordan Bywater pins Edward Sanders from Muscatine in the second period. Bywater will go to the mat one more time for a top 3 finish.
It means a lot to me knowing my sophomore year I didn't even make it past the first day, and then last year I didn't make it. So I can tell myself how much I improved, and I can't wait for the next step.
The next step for Thomas Jefferson's McGuire Midkiff, the 106-pound Consolation final. Austin Yant from Waverly Shell Rock on top early. The Yellow Jackets freshman, relentless, gets 2, but in the end, Midkiff finishes 8th place after losing 12-9.
It's kind of exciting, but it's not as high as I wanted to place. So it's mixed emotions. I'm feeling happy that I placed, but at the same time, I'm disappointed in what I placed.
Teammate Colton Klingenpeel set to go in the 7th place match at 126. The sophomore with the arm drag, good for 2 points. The 9th ranked Klingenpeel, again, 2 more. Colton Klingenpeel shuts out Jack Coet from West Des Moines Valley 4-0. The Yellow Jacket, 6th a year ago, signs in 7th place.
Coming back, I wanted to place higher, but still being able to place, having one of the hardest brackets of state again, it still feels good being on the podium.
145, TJ's Jason Wallace goes to the mat with Nick Drahosel from CR Xavier for 5th place. And the number 3 Drahosel gets the takedown. The senior comes around again for 2 more. Nick Drahos will outpoints junior Jason Wallace 5-2. Jason will finish in 6th place.
It was a good outcome overall, but I still feel like I should have done better in those last 2 matches. Didn't feel like I quite wrestled good enough.
They wrestled with a lot of heart. Some things didn't go their way. They came back, got on the medal rounds. Things didn't go their way. They still came out and battled. So that's, as a coach, basically all you can ask for.
3rd place match at 152. Lewis Central's Ethan Ruby holding on against Ross Lembeck from Linmar. Not enough. Lembeck takes 3rd with a 9-3 win.
I would like to have had another 1 or 2 place. I was hoping that Ethan would place a little higher than he did, and like I said, I'm proud of him because he wrestled well. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
3rd place match at 285. AL's Jordan Bywater escapes for a 3-2 lead in the 2nd overtime. But Cole Turner from Cedar Rapids Xavier keeps coming. Gets the takedown with seconds left. Turner beats Bywater 4-3.
I almost wanted to cry, but it was, hey, 4th place is better than nothing, right?
Do you feel like your guys wrestled up to their capabilities?
I'd say yeah. You know, the 2 newbies, you know, they didn't know what to expect. Jordan being here before, you know, I mean, he wrestled his heart out, never gave up. You know, and he just beat by 2 very good opponents today.
The Lynx' Jordan Bywater finishes a fine season at 47-5 and a match to remember for either side. In the end, Council Bluffs places 6 on the podium. Ethan Ruby from Lewis Central finishes 4th, as does Jordan Bywater from Abraham Lincoln. Thomas Jefferson, a hat trick of medals. Midkiff 8th, Klingenpeel 7th, and Wallace 6th. They'll all be back for the Yellow Jackets next year. In Class 1A, St. Albert's Wyatt Lewis finishes 6th once again. So there you go, the state wrestling tournament, a torture chamber of emotions, where many are called and few are chosen. Who is your pick from Council Bluffs to go to state in basketball? On the other side.
State Wrestling Tournament coverage brought to you in part by Jimmy Waters at 3rd Degree Screening, a local company with national reach, providing comprehensive background check and drug testing products and services. 712-256-1701 or online at thirddegreescreening.com. State Wrestling Tournament coverage brought to you in part by the Cobra Optimist Wrestling Club. More information at cbcobrawrestling.org. State Wrestling Tournament coverage brought to you in part by the St. Albert Alumni Association, supporting Falcon wrestlers at the state meet. State Wrestling Tournament coverage is brought to you in part by Holiday Van and Storage, a full-service moving company, proudly serving the Omaha and Council Bluffs areas. For a stress-free move, 402-734-3834.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Back here at the state wrestling tournament. And as you can see, they're tearing it down and then setting it right back up for the Grand March and the championship finals tonight. You know, there's a good chance I could be back here in 2 weeks for state basketball. The 2nd season is well underway. Showdown time on the girls' side. For more, here's IWTV student Michael Byler.
Thomas Jefferson coming to Abraham Lincoln for the Class 5A Region 8 quarterfinal. The Lynx jumping out early. Alexa Murphy with the 3. TJ's Talia Starks with the jump shot, ending AL's 9-0 run. Back the other way, Delaney Bolton finds the lane, links up after one 22-4. Yellow Jackets just looking for something positive. Elisa Talenter Rachel O'Neill scored 2 of her team-high 7 points, but AL would finish the half on a 9-2 run, leading Thomas Jefferson 33-10. Third quarter, Hannah Henning forcing 1 of TJ's 32 turnovers. The junior finished as the top scorer with 16 points. AL would run away with it, beating TJ 66-19.
We got out, we wanted to get out early, get the lead, and we did that, and we just never lost control of the game and stuff. So just proud of the effort from all 10 of our girls.
It'll be tough. We play some ranked teams, and I believe if we give our best shot, then any team can win on any given night, and I think we can do it.
We are exponentially better than we were a year ago. We break presses, we can make adjustments. We're doing a lot of things a year ago. And the nice thing is many of the coaches I coach against and referees that see us regularly, they notice the improvement, they notice the change, and soon that will translate into closer scores and hopefully some wins.
Thomas Jefferson's season is over, and so would Abraham Lincoln's, as they would later lose to Johnston 65-34. For the Bluff Sports Zone, I'm Michael Byland. Here is Aaron Zach.
Thanks, Michael. 9th ranked Lewis Central taking on Glenwood in a postseason matchup. Back and forth action in the first, all tied up at 10. Second quarter, Lewis Central hit a pair of free throws to make it 13-10. Miranda Starner gets the rebound and the putback. Rams down 1. LC right back. Maddie Paulson, top of the key, drains it for her game-high 16. Titans up 16-13. Glenwood won't go away. Bailey Starner off the rim. Janet King rebounds and hits the mid-range jumper. Visitors down 18-17 at the half. Third quarter, Starner finds a wide open lane, drives in for the easy 2. Glenwood leads now 19-18. Titans answer back. Senior Alexis Spielman in transition finds Paige Beacom, goes up strong. Home team back in the lead now, 20-19. LC never looked back from there. The junior hot hand Maddie Paulson hits the 3 to cap off a 10-0 run. Lewis Central goes on to win 38-32.
Well, a little bit of an ugly one, but you know what? Like I told the girls after the game, the only really thing that matters is that score at the end of the game. It doesn't matter how it happened. We won, and that's what we're focused on.
Going in, we had no school today, so it was tougher. And we had a couple girls kind of sick and drowsy, but I think just everyone else pulling through for those players really helped us.
These two teams have met 3 times this year. The Titans have won all 3 battles. For the Bluff Sports Zone, I'm Aaron Zach.
Thanks, Aaron. Now it's the guys' turn. And you know, you really got to hand it to the Lynx. AL has really turned it around in the second season. But here's the question. Can Abraham Lincoln keep it up in the postseason?
Sioux City West comes into Abraham Lincoln for the first round of districts. AL gets on the board first. Alex Barrett to Colton Tracy inside. The Wolverines with a great start. Colby Hill hits it from the corner. Now Hill again finds the bottom of the net. He finishes with 17 points. But Kyle Crowell lighting up and then some. The Lynx sophomore, a state record 13 three-pointers. Abraham Lincoln just shoots down Sioux City West 76-56.
In other postseason action, Lewis Central leading Thomas Jefferson at half 34-20. Titans looking to run away with it in the second. Right away, Kyler Nixon with 3 of his 11. Very next possession, one of the bright spots for the Yellow Jackets, senior Zach Williamson finishing with a team-high 9 points. Mitch Moran with a little jump stop. Junior goes 4 for 5 from the field. TJ's season comes to a close as the Titans win 69-44.
We executed the things that we talked about in practice coming in to the game, and just really proud of the effort, but really proud of our execution, both offensively and defensively.
We've grown as a team. We're better now, but I'm glad. I wouldn't choose that team over anybody. I mean, I love them guys. I hate them a lot, but I love them.
If not, just get it in, Zach.
Proud of our guys' effort all year long. We've been able to grow and mature as a team. Excited to be able to work with the kids in the off season. We'll miss some seniors, but you know, they'll move on to bigger and better things in life, and so you know, just it's been you know, it's been a pleasure having an opportunity to coach these guys.
Next stop for Lewis Central, Sioux City North in the Sub-State Semis. For the Bluff Sports Zone, I'm Michael Byland.
Thanks again, Michael. And now it's time for our Play of the Week, brought to you by Buena Vista University.
State Wrestling Tournament, the Big Links. 285-pounder Jordan Bywater from Abraham Lincoln pins his way to a fourth-place finish. AL's best in head coach Matt Daniels' 7 years. And for that, Jordan Bywater with our Play of the Week. The Play of the Week is brought to you by Buena Vista University. Earn your bachelor's with face-to-face classes right here in Council Bluffs.
And so, there you go. Fun times from the state wrestling tournament. And a big congratulations to the Super 16 from Council Bluffs that made it this far. They will always be able to hold their heads high, regardless of where they finished. And you know, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Just to make it this far, and you're a champion. And so, for this very special edition of the Bluff Sports Zone here from the Wells Fargo Arena, I'm J.J. Davis, and as always, I'll see you around.